In 2020, amidst COVID, I completed an MA in English at the University of Wyoming with a thesis title of Comparative Analyses of Contemporary Fine Art Criticism and Contemporary Ceramics Criticism. This topic interested me primarily to find out for myself what critical discourse looks like, analytically and quantifiably. Feel free to take screenshots of any of the following slides. I gleaned 14 characteristics that were used in 96 reviews and articles. The objective qualities are those that are easy to include in our writing, but they don't challenge the writer to bring herself into the process. The subjective qualities require that the writer bring personal assessment to the process. In my opinion, the best writers in critical discourse spend 50% or more of their writings in the subjective categories, taking the opportunity to inform the reader as well as the artist. I found that ceramics criticism doesn't vary much from other art criticism, as you can see in these charts. In the short time that I have here, if you concentrate more on the chart on the right, you will see that this is true. And again, feel free to take a screenshot. I found that others have similar opinions. According to the EAP Foundation, writers should keep description to a minimum. And the University of Cumbria, UK, says that critical writing need not be negative. For those of you who are writers, here's an assignment from RMIT in Melbourne, Australia. The Australian College of Applied Psychology says that critical writing evaluates strengths, weaknesses, relevance, value, effectiveness, and suggests new ways to explain things, new theories, approaches, or ideas. Evaluating. Watch Peter Sheldall, who has done just that in looking at the work of Richard Serra. He's not afraid to say that the work is, quote, hardly pictorial. They are about as amiable as the front ends of oncoming trucks. Serra's sculpture, gross materiality, bombastic scale, and perhaps the all-time aesthetic quintessence of passive aggression. But he follows up by saying, your movement in their vicinity is a kind of a dance that you can't refuse or repress, and more. He balances the positive and the negative and makes it palatable. A work of art is a thesis. Every decision that the artist makes supports her thesis. In order to discover that thesis, it is the job of the critic to interpret the visual language used by the artist. I believe that this discovery can be shared by describing, responding, interpreting, associating, theorizing, evaluating, understanding historic lineage, and by clearly and understandably explaining. This will, in my opinion, add much needed discipline to the practice of writing ceramics criticism, and it can add the needed impetus to attract a hungry audience. Because of COVID-19, my thesis defense was on Zoom, allowing me to invite writers, editors, and others to the session. In addition to my family, 25 to 30 others in these categories came. Glenn Adamson was on my committee, so that was a plus for the session. I began to get emails from those in attendance asking me to keep the conversation going, which we have done, with the goal of encouraging more critical writing in ceramics worldwide. We meet as Critical Connections on the third Thursday of the month, usually at 4 p.m. US Eastern Time, allowing those down under to participate early in the morning and those on Greenwich Mean Time to participate later in the evening. We have a guest speaker each month with plenty of time for questions and answers. For anyone interested in joining us, email me at the address on the screen. Thank you.